All right, Leo, let's do this. This is your reading for July. So I hope you had a beautiful solstice and got through June okay. Remember to look through the readings at the start of the month, which prepares you for the themes that might be coming up. But then rewatch at the end of the month and take notes and do a bit of journaling about how things manifested for you, how they showed up for you based on the themes that came through. That way we can learn to decipher between whatever comes through in the reading. You can have preparedness for how that might eventuate. And what we're hoping for with any kind of divination is when things show up, you embrace them, you engage, you hold strong to your intentions and your values that you set at the start of the month, and you can glide through experiences and learn and grow without too much friction, chaos, avoidance, all those self-sabotagey things that come in. I'm changing it up a little bit for July based on something that my guides have been talking to me about. So we're going to do 3 tarot cards, which helps us to organize the 3D. Tarot's very good at that. And then the same amount of shadow cards. So 3 shadow cards. This really honors that, most of you are 5D beings living in a 3D world. That in itself is jarring. That in itself is difficult. So I wanted to acknowledge that we've got to be anchored in a 3D world and organize our physical vessels and do all those things to keep our vibration high. But then at the same time, we have these 5D experiences where the shadow work comes in fairly constantly, but can be much smoother and much easier to navigate if we do surrender and engage and move through it in a way that represents responsibility, for sure, trust in the universe, in your guides, in your higher self, that that's what you need to go through because it's coming up at that time. So it's really, a lot of people call me up and say, why is this happening to me? Why is it happening now? And the simple answer is because it's time. And if we fully trust and surrender to our guides in the universe, which is much bigger than ourselves and our thoughts and what we think this is about, then we can trust in divine timing. So when a lesson knocks on your door, you can say, okay, I guess it's ready to open that door. Let's do that. On a 3D level, Leo, it is looking pretty good, actually. So heading into your birthday season, the Lovers card represents balancing masculine and feminine and taking a step forward from that balanced place. When we're in dysfunctional masculine or dysfunctional feminine, we create an imbalance. Now, in all of us, one of the reasons why we're here in incarnation is to balance masculine and feminine. We're in a very exciting time for that. You can see this in all the transgender movements, in all of the movements towards people breaking away from conditioning about being judged and treated for simply their gender or by societal norms that say girls should do this, boys should do this. I mean, it's actually quite ridiculous, isn't it? So there's a lot of people stepping up and saying, well, I don't want to be put in that pigeonhole, actually. I don't want to be put in that corner just because you've made a judgment based on previous generations' gender that doesn't fit for me. So the Lovers says, if I didn't know or buy into those dysfunctional patterns and programs around what a woman or a man should do or should be, and I balanced my own masculine and feminine, remember that just represents yin and yang, the balance within, being as nurturing and nourishing as you are dynamic and performative, being both light and dark at the same time, honoring who you are in that balance and taking a step forward from that balanced place, not from a place of dysfunction, which says, well, I didn't do that, I should do that, he's not doing that, she's not doing that, blah, 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 blah. You move forward from that balanced place. And even if you're not balanced, we can hack into that and say, if I was feeling completely balanced in my yin and yang, masculine and feminine, all the polarities around me and within me, what step would I be taking? If I was truly acknowledging both of those places, and I did feel balanced, nourished, grounded, and well, what step would I be taking? And we can take that step. That step is going to take you into the unknown, into uncertainty. It's going to be like a fresh new start, as if you've never been hurt before, as if nothing's ever gone wrong from this place of balance, right? Because the reason we don't jump off the cliff and take a leap of faith and plunge into something as if we've never been hurt is because our past and our memory says, oh, well, you did that and you got hurt and that didn't work out well last time. This is saying from that balanced place, we will get a new beginning. And that new beginning represents having nothing to lose, really. The Fool comes through when I know it is better to live a life and take risks with an open heart than it is to close my heart and have experiences attracted to me that represent and show me over and over again why my heart is closed. We do feel foolish opening our heart to anything, animals, people, friends, environments, new groups, new tribes, new experiences where we've been hurt before. But this is about that sense of freedom where we do start again as if we've never been hurt. So we do need to put the trust lens back on and take those steps from a balanced place, because whatever that new beginning is, it's going to show us much more information about new creative endeavors, new creative pursuits, new passionate projects, new people, places, things that spark us into something more meaningful than what we're in now. So whether you're coming out of stagnancy, whether you're looking towards a new project, a new relationship, a new job, there's something in this that represents coming from a balanced place, realizing that opening yourself again is actually more important to you than staying closed forever. And then from that new open place, getting new information, new ideas about how you could pursue a passionate, creative endeavor, life, purpose, pathway, whatever it is for you. So that's going to be about trying new things. This month is definitely about opening those doors, trying new things, even if you've been hurt before, and making sure we understand what the growth aspect is for you. So the growth aspect is, it's not about anybody else's expectations. We're going to have to get rid of that. So horses come in with both this beautiful nature that they want to surrender to us, they want to serve us, but they also need to be wild. They're a wild animal. They have this instinct to run in herds and to be rewilded. So we both need both aspects within ourselves. So when horse comes through, it's usually a reminder that you're going and doing this according to someone's expectations. We need to destroy and uncreate that and just start of our own accord. Without expectations, the Fool says you're going to have to take the step and the leap and figure out what was holding you back once you're through the other side. Because intuitive leadership is difficult, but we don't want to force people to see what they need to do in order to be led well. We don't want to control people's evolution or their healing. We simply want to be an intuitive leadership force and lead our own lives with integrity, with intuitiveness, with creativity, with style, with flair, with respect. And Lion comes through to say, don't worry about overpowering anyone. Don't worry about power dynamics at all. Don't worry about hierarchies. Just follow your intuition, do it in your own way. And there'll be people that will be positively influenced and people that will go, oh, wow, that is possible. Oh, that's interesting. And that's all we need to do to be leaders in our own lives and to be inspiring leaders as well. It's really not about how many people follow us, because you'll never actually know that. And I think once anyone breaks out of self-sabotage or difficult cycles and they go out there and do something interesting, new, or bold, we always influence people in our lives, and we might not know about it because they might not tell us, and we might not get all the likes or the followers or whatever, and people might not come out of the woodwork to say, oh my God, you're such an inspiring leader. But there is a ripple effect. There's this effect that says, oh, that is possible. That's really interesting. And I believe that's what line comes in to teach us. It's really about standing bold for your own purposes. Manta ray came up in one of the other readings too. You're going to have to find that slipstream of growth and change that is easy and graceful, at least for a certain amount of time. Now, if you swim through in that slipstream and just say, well, these doors are opening for me, I'm going to go with it, it doesn't mean that anyone else needs to be upset because of that. And if they are, that's their own stuff. So it is much more important for me for people to step up outside of their comfort zones. They might have to ruffle some feathers to do something that's super aligned with them and their soul and their spirit. They will be a leadership force, even if nobody's telling them that. And they might get a sense that they're interrupting other people's comfort, perhaps, by being bold, by shining bright, by stepping up and saying, you know what, that didn't serve me. I'm going over here for something more meaningful and I'm going to work really hard at it. But the sense that we might be upsetting people, that people might not like what we're doing, that they might judge us, is part of it. And all of this shadow says it's worth it. The more people that stand up to be leaders, healers, artists, teachers, knowledge sharers, community space holders, women's circle facilitators, whatever it is that your soul is calling you to do, you will annoy, disrupt, intimidate people. That's part of what we need to do to step up and create a new world. It's important. It's important to live creative lives, balanced lives, to address our own needs, to express, to work through our trauma, to do the shadow work, the inner work, everything that's involved, and know that we're never going to please everyone. Because people pleasing is a trauma response for a lot of us and got us into a lot of trouble. I think it's better to shine bright, do something meaningful, creative, or that's just fun for you, and take the risks that a lot of people are not going to accept it. Part of life where we are, but as we move into this huge, big awakening, repolarizing, a lot of people waking up at the same time, it can be part of our medicine to disrupt other people's safety mechanisms around staying small. We might have to bruise some egos just by being us. We might have to ruffle some feathers just by being powerful. We might have to both inspire and intimidate others by being healthy and working towards our own dreams. That might have to be the nature of what we're doing. And it's unfortunate that it can't all be love and light and butterflies, but it's not what we're in. We want the grit. We want the depth. We want everything to be as aligned with evolution as we can. And your evolution speaks to me of getting out there, doing it your way, living a creative, powerful life, and not worrying about the people you disrupt in the meantime. Because even if they do voice that they are upset or disrupted by your presence, by your medicine, by your art, that changes as an instant. It's really their responsibility to say, is that the negativity that I want to put out in the world? And we can see it all over the place online. We can see it in other groups and communities. You can put those people over there, focus on your inner circle that will always cheerlead you, congratulate you, support you, and know that the rest of it is just part of the human condition and how we create change. And think about all the beautiful, powerful people that have made you feel uncomfortable about yourself and think, well, what am I doing with my life? This person's doing all these things, they've written like 12 books by now. What am I doing, right? And I think that's a positive experience in the end, even if you're uncomfortable in the beginning. So I love it when people are shining bright and they stir my own shadow work. I think that's brilliant. And I thank them for it. I really do. I say, you keep on shining. I'll keep on watching, hacking into my own ego, and I'll get out there and do some better work, right? So that's the inspiring force we can be on people. So have a great July. I'll be doing a live stream on the 16th at 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Bring your questions. probably get a free reading. I'd love to see you there. Tune in when you can, and we'll go through the month and how it's already manifesting to us. So I'd love to see you there, Leo. Much love. Bye.